Hi, I'm Abid Hussien. I'm an attorney here in Dallas, Texas, and we are at the Admirals Club in DFW Airport. And I first heard of Rjon about 3 years ago. I was looking online for somebody who would be able to help me with my law practice, and I just started out as a solo attorney. That was about 3.5, 4 years ago. Stumbled across Rjon's program and enrolled in the program, and since then, I don't know how to describe it.
Tell them how you thought it was all bullshit.
Well, so here's this guy who's got a bunch of YouTube videos about hanging out on the beach and saying that lawyers are going to be happy and making lots of money for working less, and I was thinking, wow, that's some great bullshit. But the truth of it is that the legal industry is full of martyrs, and we don't have to be. There are great ways to have a great, fulfilling law practice, and these are the things that I've learned from Rjon over the last 3 years. I started learning those things by going into a 12-week program, which taught me a lot of all the essentials for how to start my law practice. As soon as I started implementing them, I went from a failed practice to a solo practice that was just starting to get off the ground. And then it became obvious that I needed more and more training and more eye-opening. And so I went to some live events, and I went to a weekend mastermind with Rjon. And from that point, I came home from that weekend, learning more about myself more in one day than I probably would have in about a year. And that enabled me to really think about myself and my practice in ways that I had never thought about before. And of course, that caused me to panic in ways that I had never thought about before. So I texted Rjon that this event was great, but I'm now starting to panic because it's telling me how to be successful, and I may not be ready for that. And as a result,
That much success.
That much success, absolutely, yes. And lo and behold, Mr. Rjon shows up in Dallas, Texas. He's like a magic genie. You rub it and he shows up. Oh, okay. What else should we talk about?
Well, I rearranged my flight.
Yes.
I had a connection through Dallas, so
Yes.
I said I'll come to the
it
airport.
was great. He said, he said, come on down, meet me at the Admirals Club, and I'm so glad I did, because this is awesome. And he rearranged his flight. He rearranged his time and offered to come and meet with me, give me some clarity, and put me again on the right path. And I am looking forward to, and I completely believe that I will have $1 million practice in 2 years. I have no doubt in my mind that I will. And so if there's anybody out there that's wondering how full of bullshit he is, wondering if he can help you, please have no doubt in my mind, and I'm encouraging Rjon to share my contact information to anybody who has any questions. And you're welcome to ask me for a personal referral or whatever you need for any references, and I will wholeheartedly support Rjon and his program.
Tell them about some of the concrete, mechanical, practical stuff you learned.
So the 12-week program took me from having an idea of the area of law I wanted to work in to a very honed and precise way to practice law in a particular section, how to market to people in that area, how to build the business model, how to have the revenue stream, how to be accountable to all the goals that I put into place, and how to measure the success on a step-by-step basis. So, and then the Mastermind program was...
and the mechanical policies and administrative procedures.
Right, exactly. The mechanical policies, the procedures, the things that basically enable a law firm to run like a business and enable you to eventually stop being a slave to your law firm. And then the Mastermind event was more about learning about things that keep you from being your fullest potential, and how you can use those to build your law firm from a small engine into a massive jet engine.
And tell them how you thought that was bullshit too.
When he first told me that it was going to be a day of my life is going to feel like a year of growth. And I was like, okay, I'll smoke whatever you're passing, and we'll see what happens. And then I got back home, and the first thing I told my wife was, I just grew a year yesterday.
And the other people in the room? Or
The other
12 people?
There were 12 people in the room, and
were they all a bunch of flaky losers?
they were all incredibly intelligent people, and all they needed was that little bit of direction that I did. And I fully expect all of them to have taken as much value as I did from that one day.
All right, I gotta go.
Go.